failure and invention are inseparable twins. If you want to be innovative, if you want to make something new, you have to be prepared to fail.
Or maybe put in the final few touches in the keynote deck. What got you here won't get you there. Looking to the past to inform the decisions of the future is a pretty surefire way of failure.
For about 15 years, I used to teach at the Art Center College of Design. Right around this time, an old college classmate of mine came back into my life. His name is Jose Caballero. And he said, "Chris, I have this idea. We have to get on YouTube." And I was really uncomfortable with that idea.
We have a general fear of the unknown, because that means there's a good chance that we can fail. So when Jose invites me to go and appear on YouTube, all I could think about are ways this is going to fail. And these are all excuses in my mind to prevent me from doing something that I don't know anything about. And ultimately, as I've been trained by my business coach, run towards your fear. There are only two kinds of people. The people that run away from fear and the ones that run towards it. And I don't want to be the one that runs away from it.
Right around 2014, we started making videos on YouTube. I started to get comfortable in front of the camera. I started to see the impact we were making on the people who were watching it. And so at that same time, I was still teaching at Art Center, sitting in a boardroom, talking to other trained career professionals. And I raised my hand and said, are we not concerned about what's happening with digital technologies? Because we can use those technologies in a much more efficient and cost-effective way. Don't we want to preserve the knowledge that's part of this institution, or are we gonna let that die? And some of them literally laughed at me. They said, "No, Chris, you're being an alarmist. We've been around forever, we will be around forever. This is how people want to learn." Well, I want to share with you 4 companies that didn't learn the same lesson. So at one time, these were all leaders in their space, the envy of their competitors, but they all let their past success determine their current direction. Western Union should have been the company that invented the internet. They should have been Time Warner Cable. And Blockbuster should have been Netflix. They should have transformed themselves into a movie TV studio and not just a movie rental place. Tower Records should have invented the digital music streaming service. They should have been Spotify. And Kodak should have been an image capturing company, not a filmmaking company.
I think probably the first step in looking for innovation is to actually study the failures of many companies who have not recognized massive change. Why didn't they innovate? What happened to them? I think they got locked into a system of repeating their past success and failing to see what they truly did for their audience. So this is about redefining or actually having a clear label as to who you are, what your mission, your purpose is, and not defining it as to what you do.
Find the white space and fill those gaps. So I asked ourselves back in the day, how can we stand out? Like, why make videos on YouTube? Well, I started to think about this. Well, YouTube is full of creators that are charismatic, but they're amateurs. They haven't done anything professional with their life. They're YouTubers. That's their title. And they lacked experience. So sometimes they would teach you things not really based on any real world experience. And then there were these celebrated designers who were really experienced, who had won all the awards, but they had no interest in time. So that was the first gap.
So for our audience, there are ways to spot gaps, and gaps can be described in a different language. It's a problem that everybody's ignored.
So how to find your gap? There's a very simple exercise that somebody taught me, the empathy exercise, okay? It just requires 3 prompts: task, gap, and opportunity. You want to immerse yourself and look through the world from your audience's point of view. What are they thinking and feeling? What are they saying and doing? What do they see and hear? What do they hope and fear? And you use that. So you create a 3-column grid and you write down, what is it a day in the life look like for this person? From the moment that they wake up, what are they concerned about? Are they putting together an important presentation? Are they rushing through lunch because they have too much work to do at the office? Are they being bombarded by emails all day long? What's happening in their life? And then look for the gap to ease their pain, to solve one problem. And then try to write what the solution looks like in the opportunity. And it's written as opportunity, not as work. And this is where you have to leave behind the patterns of the past and focus on what you can do to create a solution for them in the future.
In order for you to recognize some of these gaps that exist in the market and to be able to have the mindset for innovation, I think you have to step back and remove yourself from the running of the business so that you have that kind of clarity. There's a couple of things that are definitely red flags for you. If you find out that most of your working days are consumed with putting out fires, you will never have the mental bandwidth to recognize any of these patterns. Address those problems first if you can, because you need the mental bandwidth to think like this. There's another thing that you can do, which is you can dedicate certain days where no matter what happens, you're totally unreachable by phone and you unplug from the world. You need to have the space to be bored so that your archiving brain can connect to things that your active brain has figured out. So when those two worlds come together, some great ideas can be born. So go on a road trip with a friend and leave work behind, and then 3-4 days out, you're gonna have a lot of clarity and you're gonna come back renewed, refreshed, and you're gonna have much clearer eyes to see the problem.
Long-term business plans are a fantasy. Pick a direction, adjust as you go. That's the key. Because you can't predict what happens with market conditions, consumer behavior, the economy, technological disruption, or even what the competition is going to do. But what you do need to do is to fight inertia. Instead of having one 12-week project, have 12 one-week projects and keep adjusting. A person who makes 1,000 wrong decisions is better off than a person who makes no decision at all. So I have one final thought for you, is this. There's a reason why your windshield is so much bigger than your rearview mirror. Where you are going is much better than where you've been. Thank you very much.
The biggest takeaway that you can get from watching this video is to learn to recognize a risk as an opportunity. A lot of people say what you want to do is to be prepared so that when opportunity knocks, you open the door. And a lot of times we feel like that is a danger, and so we keep the door closed. There's opportunity everywhere. Let us know with a timestamp comment what your biggest takeaway was and what gaps you see in your life and business and what you can do with an innovative mindset. Thanks for watching.